What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of KAP Collective,
where knowledge meets power.
Today, I'm with my brother James.
I'm with Keith.
And we got some free game to give to you guys today, man. Today, I think we want to talk about like just the whole life balance.
Balancing life and just work, because people think about work too much regarding like the logistics and statistics and all that stuff, but people don't really realize that there's a lot more to it. Things that happen behind the scenes that might not even involve work. It's mental health and anxiety and relationships and just things that you go to on the day-to-day that like conflicts with the job, really.
No, I totally agree, man. I have a few questions for you, James. I know we've been shooting together since about 2019.
Yeah, we all met in 2019.
Yeah. And I know like even like with our I think because we started at a very young age, and at the time, we were chasing just success and things of that nature, where we started to not even, at least I'll say for me, it's been times where I haven't even taken care of myself, sleepless nights, just chasing this goal to, reach 1 million views on a music video or whatever the case is. So my question to you today would be like, I know we know each other personally, and how did you, or what would you say like is a big struggle as far as like balancing anxiety and also balancing film at the same time, especially in an industry where anxiety is heavy, people put a lot of weight on you and expect a lot from you, especially with you, because especially you know how to do everything, so I can't
really
imagine
like
how that feels for you.
What it is that like when you're, like you said, when we were younger it was easier, but that's just really like when you're younger, as time comes, things get harder, you have more responsibilities. It's like as you're younger you have less responsibilities, so it's easier to just like really just dive on in. But as you get older, just regular every day-to-day things come into play, like relationships, rent, just simple things that like bills. It's like you really have to balance it. And the thing about our job is that what I learned coming up is that it never really shuts off. It is a 24-hour job.
It is.
And it's like, you're constantly on the clock, because once you get a call, you got to make it work. And especially since we came up doing a lot of music videos, you would think as we got bigger projects or bigger artists, it will become easier. But it's like, nah, because now it's like, we could get like a underground artist, you could work with them. We have like a week and a half to plan it. Sexy Red calls, she calls, she won't shoot tomorrow. You gotta get everything done for tomorrow. So it's like, you don't really sleep. And again, when you're younger, it's easier because, you have nothing to really worry about. But like, it gets hard once you're like, say you're out eating with your partner and you get the call saying like, yo, we need this for tomorrow. And now it's like, damn, do I cut my dinner short, or do I try to have someone try to spot me and make it work? It's like, yo, I need this gear for tomorrow, help me out. I can't do it right now. And then once you're done with dinner, you have to like kind of duck and go. And that kind of also goes into another conversation where like it's just choosing the right partner in relationships regarding
heavy on
big and that. But overall, it's like it causes a lot of anxiety, because again, like you have all this pressure, especially when you're coming from like a producer or a DP role, and just directing is like, you really have to make things happen, and it really is just depending on the time you have to make it work. You feel me? And that's kind of where I leave that to be.
Definitely, man. And also like I'll say for someone who doesn't even like, I don't say this, at least for us, I'll say like, since we are in the group setting and we kind of like vent to each other, especially with the aspect of like, when we going through situations like that, I think relationships, that's one of the biggest ones, like definitely relationship wise, because I mean, I've done, a lot of people don't know this, but I've done quit jobs. It's been struggles where I had to make a decision just like that too. And to have a partner that's rooting for you and saying, you know what, babes, I understand, go for it, and but it's a battle, because a lot of people don't really understand that, and for someone like, I'll say, since we're adults now, what has some of these things has taught you to bring to your adulthood now, and how are you able to balance it? I feel like we've got it balanced.
I mean, what I will say is that like, just piggyback off like having, like, we have each other to vent to, just really just having a strong support system around you. And it doesn't have to be your partner, it just has to be just people you work with. It's like coming up, you're so hungry, you're willing to just hop on any set, but as you start making your bones, you start making a foundation, you really start to realize you could kind of tell from like a mile away how a project's gonna go. Because that thing is like, I still do running guns every once in a blue moon, but I make sure to at least organize, you know. I don't try to do it like, oh, we're just gonna see, because same time it's like, I can't really just be sitting around with an artist in the studio for 12 hours doing nothing. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like, the oldest saying in film is time is money, and it's not even about film, it's just your life, man. It's like, I could just be doing something else, you know. And I would say, as you get older and as you really start to get your work and your foundation done, I personally, I started rejecting a lot of jobs. I don't do jobs that just don't intrigue me anymore, because it went from like, the beginning was trying just to put work out there and be creative and make a name for myself.
Yeah.
And then it's figuring out how to survive financially, because that too is like, just being 4 years into film, you really start to realize that your finances are a big root of your problem, because, you know, we could dive into this conversation in another episode, but like net 30s and just waiting on back ends in general, like it creates a problem, because sometimes it's like, you know, you could, again, picking back off like relationships, like you could be having, you could, I've been in positions where I'm owed like around $5,000, and then like I have a date coming up, and I'm like, yo, boys, like I'm hitting up these directors like, yo, like, can I get my payment? You know, I'm trying to just indulge in like my own things, you know. So I'm trying to splurge on my own stuff. But even so, like when you're younger, what I will say in our careers, that we do make a lot of money like really fast. When it gets slow, and that's just, you know, you really learn how to save and how to balance, because, you know, when I was young, I was just spending money on concerts. I wasn't really buying like shoes and stuff like that, but I was really spending money on experience. Like I was really going to concerts, I'll go on trips, I'll try to take care of my partner, I'll try to do things for myself. And it's like, everyone has that thing that they kind of deep dive within their own personal life. And it's okay, you know, we're all human, you know. Same time, you can't just work 24/7, because then that's not healthy either, you know. And what I will say is that like a year ago, I was really like, it got to a point where I felt like I had everything figured out, but I just still wasn't happy. So like I really went into like a dark space, and, you know, things kind of got really low. And I would say, if it wasn't really for like having y'all boys and like even people like B Wade, and like just having a good support system, it really would have like got more dark. And it gets hard, bro. It gets hard. Like, so like, it's really like balancing your finances so you can make sure that you're good, you're able to do things for yourself. Because just simple things is like, I tell people within our careers that, look, if you want to do this, make sure that you have a hobby on the side, because this does get demanding and it does get draining. People think you just put up a camera. Honestly, being a camera operator, I say this very lightly, but it is the easiest job. At the end of the day, being a producer, you have to get things done. You're working on the time crunch. Like I would say, from coming from the camera side, like the most I had to worry about is how am I gonna rig a camera, and I have to go pick up a camera rental at 6 in the morning. That's about it. But I would say, coming from a producer side, is like trying to find a location within a certain timeline that fits a budget that works and looks good, and then make sure that the budget works for set design. It's like you're doing like a lot of finance and budgeting, and it does get to you, bro. It's like you're thinking too hard, and then it's like you're just trying to balance everything. And me, I live with my niece, so it's like when she was younger, I would have to take care of her, and thankfully it's not really conflicted like babysitting wise, but it's like I always learned from just coming home. You know, my niece is really like a big pride and joy for me. And even like when I'm with my partner, it was always like, I just don't want to bring work home. And it gets hard, man, because even like during like the dating stage, when I would meet people, like I found it weird. I went on a date with someone who wasn't in my career, or someone who was in my career. And I felt bad for the person who wasn't in my career, because I'll have to keep ignoring my phone, because it'll be going off, and it'll be like, yo, like something about a shoot, or like someone's trying to inquire about something. And I'm like, it's okay, I could do that. But when I went on a date with someone who's in our industry, I'm just there, and like I've already trained myself to like, once I have me time, it's me time. I have to put the phone down. But I could see them like, my bad, I'm sorry. I'm like I know, like, you're trying to get work. That too. You're trying to get work, and I understand. But it's also like seeing both sides of it. It's very like, it's something you have to get used to, and it's not really easy. And if anything, you know, if you date anyone that's in the just a creative field, you know, it's like it's not easy. It's like, it is a 24-hour job, and I feel bad, because it seems cool from like the outside, but once you see what it is like behind the scenes, it's really not easy.
It's a tough job, man. I'll say, man, you truly really have to have a passion for this. Like we have so much people. I mean, I think for us, like we've seen so much people come in this industry, right? They just picked up a camera. They think they like this thing, but in the long run, man, they don't last.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well,
They call those guys like just running gun or cameraman.
Yeah, it's really that's where
cameraman.
the whole videographer, cameraman, and just being in actual production kicks in, because some people, there are some shooters that they're in it just for the clout, and they get bread, and it's like they charge based off the amount of clout they got. So it's like I'm charging you 3 bands, but I'm charging you 3 bands for me just because it's me. I'm coming around you. It's like, so those are the camera operators that they really. They kind of want to be the artist themselves.
I was just about to say that.
And then when the production aspect is like, look, I'm charging you $4,000, but that's because I need $2,000 for my crew, and then I need $2,000 to make the video that we're trying to plan out happen. Because again, everything is planned, everything on time is money. We do follow a schedule. We try to make things work. Yeah. And that's just really what it is. And that's kind of really where, whenever I meet someone who wants to get into the field, it's like, look, you are going to be sacrificing a part of yourself, and it really depends how much do you love it. Because if you don't love it, bro, if you hate being at work and you're waiting to clock out, that's just gonna happen. That's just gonna be how it is forever. Because you're like,
especially, man,
as soon as you sit down, you could go take a, you could go shower. As soon as you get out the shower, you got like 6 texts, like, yo, like someone. It's not even about planning the shoot. It's just someone asking about what to do about the shoot. And it's like, you have to really do the groundwork before you even like start making anything happen to begin with. It's like you have to find out quotes and send an invoice with like a budget breakdown, and sometimes you do all that just to be like, nah, never mind, I can't afford it.
Bro. All right, guys, we apologize about that, but just to continue our conversation here, I just wanted to ask you, James, from a standpoint where we deal with so much, and we rarely have times for ourselves, I would like to ask you, like, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing for fun outside of film in your regular life?
I mean, I've always enjoyed like spending time like with people, like my friends mostly, but my niece, I when I'm home, I really enjoy just spending time with my niece, helping her with projects, but just surrounding myself with people that just give me a good vibe, even like other shooters. Like I hang out a lot with my boy Wavy, like Wavy Lord, shout out him. Like we hang out a lot, we get ramen, and we hang out, play Guitar Hero.
I love me some ramen too, man.
Bro, man.
That boys never invite me.
We have every now and then I be hanging out with B-Wade, and funny enough, I actually spend a lot of my free time working on my passion projects, just because like it's just, I can really take my time on that. Yeah. And aside from that, I like cars. I like working on my car. I just got a PS5, so I like gaming with my friends. But for the most part, it's really just mostly quality time with people. I try to. It's like I'm up all the time working, like till like 3 in the morning. Yeah. And it's like sometimes I would like to be up as well, but just doing shit that I like to do.
Yeah, facts. I get it, man.
What about you? What do you like doing?
I like to do a variety of things. On my free time, I enjoy just playing basketball, shooting around. I'm doing more basketball on 2K with my homeboys, playing rec and stuff like that. And I kind of just enjoy just not doing nothing sometimes, like not.
Yeah, sometimes, weirdly enough, since we do like a lot of music videos, I just broke that habit for the past 2 years, believe it or not. I would just drive in silence, man. Yeah, like I wasn't trying to listen to any new music. I was just like, you know what? I drive in silence, and at some point it felt like this is some like psychotic killer like type of thing. It's like I'm just dead silence.
But man, if you're not in the industry, you won't understand.
Exactly, it's just like
you won't understand it.
And even sometimes I go into the club and I'll be listening to some songs, and then once they play a song that we shot, it's like when you're first in the career, it's like, yeah, I shot the video of the song. Yeah. I was like, I hated this day.
Yeah. But especially if you're the one that was editing, and then especially like if that specific shoot had brought you so much headache. Yeah, you're like, man, I don't even want to listen to the
sometimes,
song.
Like sometimes some of these artists, like, they are divas. So it's like you do deal with. It's not even them. Sometimes it's like their management team. There's always someone on set that makes it a bad time, and it's always on the other end. And sometimes you can't really do anything about it, but just deal with it. Because at the end of the day, you have to keep a professional outlook. But it's like, damn. Like you really making this 10 times more annoying than it has to be, bro. And sometimes even like the homeboy is trying to be a backseat director. It's like, yo, chill, bro. Yeah. And it's like just that, or just dealing with like, yeah, we want this, and it costs this much money, but we only have this much.
Oh,
Make it
yeah.
work. And then it's like, bro,
We could go. We got stories for
it's
days,
like, bro,
man.
it's like just dealing with those headaches. People don't think about it, so it's like you get war flashbacks when you hear the song
Yeah.
in public, bro. It's like, damn,
Facts.
I don't want to hear this.
We had a I'll share a quick story. I'm not gonna name the artist, but we had a shoot, man, and this artist wanted what the artist wanted. I think the artist had wanted hot Cheetos for breakfast or something.
Bro, they
wanted something.
shout out my dog, man. Like my best friend. Like we had him as a PA, and this artist, they really wanted. It was like 7 in the morning, and I have a screenshot. I'll probably send a screenshot. We'll just drop it here. But like, they wanted Casamigos, Reposado. They wanted hot chips. They wanted grandma cookies, Red Bull.
Bruh.
They wanted just the whole like corner store type.
No, you know what?
And the
bruh?
thing is that
No,
what
I'm
got
hot.
me hot is that once
gotta
they got
find it.
there, they brought the stuff, and then the director's like, nah, we need a bigger bottle. So they sent it to get
Bruh.
a bigger bottle, and I'm like, yo, it's 7 in the morning. I get we're on a boat, but it's 7 in the morning.
Oh, I got it. All right, look. This is the artist wanted, right? They wanted essential water, Red Bull, yellow and blue Gatorade, fresh watermelon, pineapples, flaming hot Cheetos, regular and jalapeno flavor, Oreos, cheese puffs, grandma vanilla cookies, regular cheese Cheetos, and extra cheese Doritos. And Casamigos Respado. I've never in my life heard about no extra cheese Doritos.
It's like it's 7
bruh.
in the morning, bro.
Bruh, at 7 in the morning,
It
bro.
happened. We got it. Like our PA, he got it done. But it's like, bro, it's 7 in the morning, and they were so pressed on that. They weren't, and then they still came late to the boat. And then at the point, worst at the end, that video never came out.
Oh yeah,
that video just
yeah, that video
never
never
came
came
out.
out.
All that for nothing, bro. It's like, and then like
the video never came out, bro.
And it's like going back to anxiety and headaches. Like we had a location. She walked in and she's like, nah.
Oh yeah.
Walked in down.
Oh yeah.
So we had to
that's
go
the
find a
thing.
completely
I
different new
forgot.
location within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, and they're a big artist, so it's like we only have X amount of time.
Facts.
So we had to make it work, and even down to the car we got them a car that they wanted, but they're like, I didn't like this interior color, and it's like, bro, what's
Yeah.
wrong with you? Like, we got the car.
Yeah.
Just get in the car, do your performance. And
Bro,
we got all these
that-
models. She didn't want any of them, so we got all these models for no reason. She wanted her own girls, and I'm like, bro, it's like,
Mind you guys,
this video never came
I
out.
was the producer for this shoot, and I had to deal with it was the biggest headache. They didn't have the and to even just add on to the location, right? I found a original location. And
Yeah, we ended up shooting like the original plan that we pitched. They said no, we ended up doing it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's like if you just
literally
listen to us.
The original location that I found for this artist, the artist said no. It was not even her. You know what it was? The artist management said
Yeah.
no. She told us that she never even saw the location.
Yeah, it's like everything we're pitching, thinking that she's approving. It wasn't her approving. It
Yeah.
was the team approving. And
So
everything
that
she
was-
hated,
that was the
it was like,
another
all right,
headache
bet.
too.
Well, your team approved this, so don't look at us.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, is even down to like production, like the logistics. Like I remember we're like, yo, do we need this lights and stuff like that? And they're like, nah, we got it. We got everything.
Yeah.
Turns out we had to like within 30 minutes get like rentals for lights because we didn't
Yeah.
have enough lights, and we didn't have that they wanted. And I'm like, bro, I was like, you said you were fine, but nah,
Yeah.
man, it's
That
getting
was,
headaches, and then at the end of the day, it's never really them who take like the heat for it, or not even the director, because the director for that shoot, they were from out of town. It's really just us, because like, you know, we're in the production, or we're in the producer like lanes, and they're hiring us to make things work, and we're just trying to make sure, we're just trying to do our job. And it's like, we can only do our job as much as you let us, but you know, when you try to deny our help,
Yeah.
and then it turns out that, oh, you were right, it's really like, damn, it's if only I knew what I was doing. You know, it's not like I've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
That's funny. Now that sounds like a lot more.
Yeah.
That's a lot more.
It's not too loud though.
It's good. It's
Okay.
good.
So yeah, like, yeah, bro. Yeah, we've been through a lot though, man. We've been through a lot. Yeah, man. Ah, Lord. I was just having flashbacks about that day, man, and how that day easily went from a 12-hour shoot. Like, it was about an 8 to 12-hour shoot, supposedly, if everything was on schedule. And then we ended up wrapping up at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, we're like 4 in the morning.
4 o'clock in the morning.
And the crazy is that like those like I'm so used to those shoots. Like I've done a couple with my mentor that like I've had start times be at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we don't wrap until like the next day at 7 in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
I really saw the sun set and rise with this
Facts.
whole gig, and it's like, it's crazy, bro.
I remember that shoot we did with I think it was Kodak. I think we had
Yeah, when we shot
16-hour
Purple
day.
Stamp, it was a 17-hour
Yeah,
shoot.
17-hour
It was
shoot
supposed
day.
to be 11, but we ended up doing 17.
Yeah.
And that production just ended up going long, and
It was a good shoot,
It
though.
was a good shoot. Like, the video came out cool, everything came out nice, but now it just dealing with long hours, and that too is like, what I will say is, like, my boy told me is like sleep's really important, especially at our age, because we're in our mid-20s, and I agree, man. Like, if you're feeling down, you're feeling a little bit low, and you haven't been sleeping, I promise you, you just stay in for like 2 days and
Yeah,
just sleep,
man.
bro. It's okay to
And just
just
sleep.
sleep, and like it's really important to catch up on sleep, because I would say a lot of my stress came from my lack of sleep, and and also sunlight. It's like as you get older, you really start to see why, like, growing up, you're like, man, old people are weird, it's
Yeah.
boring. But nah, man, it's like, yo, sunbathing's a thing, bro. like you do need vitamin D. You do
Yeah.
need you do need to try to produce endorphins within your own self.
Facts.
Stuff like that is like, it's important. It's really important to keep, especially with this job, because again, it's a 24-hour job. You're never really off the clock. Like right now, I have my phone vibrating, and it's like I'm not looking at it. But it's like, all right, I'm okay. I'm not looking at it, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's for work. I don't know if it's my partner. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's my friend. I don't know if it's
That's so
family.
true. You never know.
And the thing is that, like, if it's like family stuff, you can always get back to them. But it's like, if it's work, nah, man, it's competitive out here, man. It's like another layer to add to it is that it is all just one big competition, one big race, bro. And it's like, if you don't hop on the opportunity,
Yeah.
it's just gonna go on to the next. At the end of the day, it's
Facts.
like, that's where you have to like create your self-worth, where the conversation of like, you want to make sure they're hiring for you and not just your service. Because if you're hiring me for my service, put it blunt, like anyone could go pick up a camera. Like I just need to hire someone who could pick up a camera and shoot well. That's it. And honestly, I'm not afraid to admit, like, there's people who could do it.
That's
but
true.
people who could do it like you, that's really where you have to create your self-worth within your own brand and stuff like that. So, unless you have that, you do have to compete with everyone. And
Yeah.
again, you have to be first. You have to be quick. You got to be able to provide everything you can, fast, good, and just be on point, really.
And that's how you get your name out there too, man. Just so if anybody is looking for somebody specific, you got a good face out here, man. You'll be on many different projects.
Because people
man.
look at you, it's like, even if you're not under, be like, I did a shoot on Well, and my boy, he got me on, like, my buddy Juwan, shout out One More for Safety. Like, he got me on set. He just called me randomly. I was gonna pop out and just do BTS, because like my boy was producing, like, yo, I want to come get like pics and just to get content for the gram. And I was already ready to go, and then my boy calls me like, yo, like, I'm actually DP on this project. You know how to rig from the ceiling, because we don't know how to rig lasers from the ceiling. And I'm like, I bet. So I ended up showing, I got a paid job instead of just popping out. But it's like things like that people don't really know. It's like, if you're able to do niches like that, just simple things as rigging or just set design or just being able to do something that not a lot of people know how to. Because I'm not afraid to admit, it's like, you don't need a degree to do what we do. You really just need experience and just being able to network a lot. But the type of experience that you have does help create, like, how much of a need you are on set.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, is like, straight up, anyone could pick up a camera. Just because you have a camera, that is the easiest part. It's being able to work a budget, being able to literally make nothing.
In simple terms,
nothing,
like, what value are you bringing on the team?
Yeah, man. That's just really what it is. Because at the end,
what
it's
value
like,
are you bringing on the
I
team?
could go hire anyone to go press record.
Yeah.
And do that.
Real talk.
But not everyone understands how to light a set properly, and that's something to, like, to this day I stand by that. I could really shoot anything on anything. Yeah. As long as I have lighting and I have a dope location, I agree. Make it work. I can make it work.
If y'all worked with James before, I'm pretty sure you guys done seen and what this man can do.
It's like everyone has their style, and like I know how to use REs and Reds and cine cameras, but I'm still very much a Sony shooter, because coming from like a run and gun background, it's just, minimizing that anxiety you have on set. Sometimes if you don't have things like set up to work a certain way, you're just gonna cause yourself headaches on set. So I'd rather not get a big cine camera if I don't have an AC and just the camera team, because it's just not gonna work. You feel me? It's just gonna cause more stress, because now the artist wants to go for another take, but like I can't, because I need to go get the camera, put the cine camera, put the cine lens on, rebalance on the gimbal, because some of these lenses, they're different sizes and they're prime lenses, so it's like you're dealing with all that. And while you're doing this, the artists, their attention span's going away, and if you're not on point, now you look bad. The director's making you feel bad, and now you just have this anxiety because you're trying to stay on point. So it's like sometimes you do want to have your equipment and your gear set up to how you work, because again, the less stress you have, the easier it's gonna be. And also, people can see when you're stressed. Like people can see when you're like trying to make things work, and if you don't do it, it's just it creates a bad vibe, and that does transfer onto set. And if you don't have good chemistry with your client, the project's not going to come out good. It's just going to come out looking very stiff. So you just want to be on point. You feel me?
Definitely. But just to like sum up these things, I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give someone? I'll share my advice too. But what are like some advice would you give someone who's just starting in this industry, and how to balance your life in general, and how to just continue to keep going even when things get hard?
So from a financial point, just, I don't want to say be frugal, but just save up for a rainy day, because that rainy day is going to come often doing this, because there is slow seasons, and any type of independent business, there is going to be a slow season. So you want to have bread just set up. And if you have a part-time, like when I started, I worked at a smoke shop, and I was very thankful to have a job where when that knew what I did and they supported what I did, where I'm like, hey, I just got this shoot for today, I'm gonna go shoot Kodak today, can I leave work? And my best friend worked at the time, so he'll come take over my shift. So it's like, again, having a good support system overall is just being able to understand what it is. So financially, you just want to make sure your finances are in order. And then when it comes to the creative side, keep doing things that make you happy. All these hobbies, travel. I really recommend travel. I know traveling is expensive, but I always like, just take a day trip, to Homestead, or even up north to Orlando. Just have time for yourself, because at the end of the day, creativity comes from things that you see that inspire you. And if you're not doing things that you like to do, your creativity is going to die. I would say that when I started going through like a creative block, funny enough, like for me, it was like just having time to just go on a drive at night, because I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I would go on these drives late at night by myself and listening to music, and I would just that's where I came up with my ideas for my music videos, and just watching other music videos. And again, don't limit yourself to these things too. Always try to do something new. I always say regarding my style of shooting is that I take different genres. Like when I started doing, I started in rap videos, but the way that kept me busy is that I was lighting them like Latin videos, and that made me create a value within the way I was as a gaffer and a DP. So just always try to do something new. Just give yourself your you time, because one, it's going to relax you, and it's going to inspire you, and that's how you just try to keep yourself motivated. And as long as you have the creative drive to inspire yourself, everything else kind of just flows in naturally. You're always going to want to do something new on set. And also the biggest important thing is work with people. And I want to say work with people you like. That's a big thing. But in general, work with people, because I would say, coming from starting and shooting by myself, you could do everything by yourself. You can, and I know I can as well, but it's not really fun. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I have some shoots where I have my budget set up to where I would like extra hands to help me, but also because I just like having company. You feel me? It's like, it's always better, two heads are always better than one at the end of the day. But it's also good to just if I'm trying to figure out something on camera, you don't want to have that awkward silence between you and the client. As long as you have a homeboy who's there with you, who could crack jokes and just keep the vibe up, on set, it's not going to be dreading. Because if you're just there doing nothing, you're going to start dreading it, and that's the case. You're going to feel like you're working a regular job where you're just waiting to clock out. But just surround yourself with good company, do things that you want to do, and then everything else kind of just falls into place.
Well, obviously James just gave you guys some amazing advice. I'll say, just to piggyback on what some of the things James said, I'm heavy on definitely traveling. Travel a lot, man. I mean, traveling is expensive. I tell myself I should travel a lot more, just to also get inspired, but also just take a break for yourself, man. For your mental break, getting away from this whole industry thing, man. Because again, it is a 24-hour job. And it's very demanding, especially if you're someone who's get booked, even for the smallest shoots. You got phone calls, text messages, emails, and all these things that's happening all at the same time. So you do need that time to, give yourself a break. I also piggyback on what you're saying as well too is do this thing as a team. I'll say that, man, because it's so much easier. A lot of people think it's a flex to do this thing alone. Like, I mean, I growing up, like, I thought that was the way too, but it's so much easier and it's so much more fun when you have a team, when you have all these moving pieces working along with you and also helping you bring your own creative vision to life. You know, and then for my last statement, I'll say, man, don't give up. Especially when times get hard, it'll be times where you do want to give up because of financial reasons. You feel like people's not paying you.
Once things get slow, that's when it starts getting, because it's weird enough. I saw this on like another podcast, or I think I've seen someone say this, and they're like, it's slow.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not popular anymore. No one wants to shoot with me anymore. And it's like, no, it's like
get slow.
Things that's just part of life, and
Things
if you don't have it set up, it's just not gonna work out. So keep going. Once it gets slow, that's when you have to keep going.
Yeah, man, definitely. But yeah, man, it was great having a great conversation with my brother today, man.
That's today's episode of KAP.
That's another episode of KAP Collectives, man. Tune in. I hope you guys are enjoying everything we're putting out there, and subscribe, like, leave a comment, and also leave some different topics you guys think we should tackle as well too. We love you guys, and let's ride out, buddy.
That's it, man. That's it. We out. Let's get out of here.